You're listening to 89.5 FM, KOPN Columbia, Mid-Missouri source for in-depth news, diverse talk, and music of the world. It's more than radio, it's community radio. And you can find us on the web at kopn.org. And a good evening to you. This is The Time Machine. My name is Kevin Shultz, and once again, The Time Machine has been activated for another Wednesday evening. We're in for a great evening of fun, of music, and memories from the 1960s.
In command of his time machine, longtime volunteer Kevin Shultz plays 60s music from the booth of the KOPN community radio station.
People do different things. Some people still play albums, which we can do, but I'm not going to do that tonight. Some people play a whole bunch of CDs. I'm going to maybe use some CDs, but I've got some software on my laptop that I've programmed, just my playlist basically, kind of like you would find on like Spotify, but this is just a piece of software. We've got a button on here called the Q button, and we can listen to stuff when it's not actually going out over the air. So this is how I always test to see that my sound output is working with the system before the show starts. So it's like, okay, so it's working.
Besides the content of their programs, the volunteers are also responsible in ensuring this station follows the guidelines of the Federal Communications Commission, or the FCC.
Okay, so I've got one thing I have to do at 5 minutes after the hour is, this is FCC regulations, I have to make a phone call to our tower. We've got an automated system at our broadcast tower, and I have to jot down all this information about if the tower lights are on, because that becomes a flight hazard if those are out, what the temperature of everything is, if everything's at the right wattage and amperage and stuff. What I do on my show is I'll play like 5 or 6 songs. I've got them broken down into segments, and I've listed the song, the artist, the year that it came out, and if I find something interesting about them, I'll talk about that. We're going to go live here in just a minute. Okay. Well, I hope you're enjoying the Time Machine. We're pulling out some great songs tonight, and we're going to have some really interesting stuff coming up in this next segment, so I want you to stay tuned for that.
Shultz also hopes the station stays tuned into its current identity as a place for diversity and uniqueness.
I hope we can stay weird. There are some really unusual programs and unusual programmers, and a lot of them have a really good following, and I don't want us to become very much like the other radio stations in town.
As the media landscape continues to change, KOPN searches for ways to bring new listeners and volunteers on air.